surface along the superomedial border, it is supplied by anterior cerebral artery. Okay, this part of the superolateral surface, it is supplied by the anterior cerebral artery. Here it is the central sulcus, and it is the precentral sulcus, and this is the postcentral sulcus, isn't it? So here it is in the front of the central sulcus. Which area is this? Motor area, and behind it is the sensory area. Okay, so this part which is supplied by the anterior cerebral artery, and the representation of the body in this part, it is upside down here. Okay, so the leg representation, foot representation, and on the medial surface there is the paracentral lobule, there is the perineal region. So leg, foot and the perineal region, that is supplied by the anterior cerebral artery. Now rest of the gyri, precentral and the postcentral. Precentral gyrus, it is for what? Motor area, and here it is the postcentral, that is the sensory area for the rest of the body other than the leg and foot. Okay, so that is supplied by the middle cerebral artery. So you can see from here, this whole area, the whole of this area, it is supplied by, this is the two sulcus. This is the two sulcus on the temporal lobe, which is running horizontally. So this is the superior and the inferior temporal sulcus, which is dividing the temporal lobe into three gyri: the superior, the middle and the inferior temporal gyrus. Okay, so depending upon the blood supply, the middle cerebral artery, it is supplying the upper two-thirds, that means superior and the middle temporal gyrus. Okay, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So this will be supplied by the middle cerebral artery. Now what are the areas here? Important areas. This here you will see the motors. Which area is this? Brodmann's area are there in the brain. Here it is the Broca's area. Broca's motor speech area. Okay, Broca's motor speech area, and here it is the Wernicke's area, which is sensory speech area. It is the Wernicke's area, sensory speech area, or it is known as the Wernicke's area. Okay, this one again an auditory area. Auditory area, it is present over here. It is also supplied by the middle cerebral artery. You just see what are the important areas which are getting the blood supply by which artery, on which surface. So this is the anterior cerebral artery, a finger breadth around the superior on the superolateral surface, which runs along the superomedial border up to the parieto-occipital sulcus. So this area, which includes the motor area as well as the sensory area for leg and foot, rest all the parts of the frontal as well as the parietal, it is supplied by the middle cerebral artery. So just behind this parieto-occipital sulcus, what is this? What is this? This is the occipital lobe here, and this is supplied by which artery? This will be supplied by the posterior cerebral artery. Along with the posterior cerebral artery on the superolateral surface, it is supplying temporal. Which part of the temporal? Inferior temporal gyrus and whole of the occipital lobe. Just behind the parieto-occipital sulcus, it is the limit of the in between the parietal and the occipital lobe. Okay, so this part, it is supplied, the occipital lobe, it is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery. Isn't it? So look here. In this superolateral surface, there is predominancing of which artery here? Which artery? Middle cerebral artery. Very good. The middle cerebral artery, and it is also supplying the Broca's area, motor speech area, the sensory speech area, that is the vernix area, along with the auditory area. Okay. So suppose if this is the left cerebral hemisphere, isn't it? This is the left cerebral hemisphere. So what will be the effect if this, the artery of the middle cerebral artery, if it is occluded of this side, in the right-handed person, if the middle cerebral artery of it is damaged of left side, then what it will lead to? Anyone?
Sensory aphasia, motor aphasia.
Sensory due to this vernix, and motor also, both motor and sensory. Aphasia means motor and sensory loss of the speech, as well as the contralateral what? Hemiplegia and loss of sensation also, because the sensory area is also damaged. So contralateral hemiplegia, hemianesthesia of the rest part of the body other than the leg and the foot, isn't it? Okay. And what about the, look here. Now this is the major areas which is supplied by the middle cerebral artery. That means on the superolateral surface, we see the dominancy is of which artery? The middle cerebral artery. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
That means the basal part of the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, it is supplied by the middle cerebral artery. Only the occipital lobe and the inferior temporal gyrus, it is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery. And upper two temporal gyrus, that is the superior and the middle temporal gyrus, they are also supplied by the middle cerebral artery. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So the next surface it is,
Medial.
on this surface, suppose if the anterior cerebral artery it is occluded, then what it will lead to? It will lead to the contralateral what? Hemianesthesia and hemiplegia of the leg and foot region. So it is like that. And in the, if it is a right-handed person, if there is occlusion of the middle cerebral artery in the left side, then it will lead to the Broca's and the Broca's motor speech area, and the vernix speech area will be also involved here. But what about the auditory? Because the auditory impulses goes to the both sides, that's why there will be minimize the hearing loss. Hearing loss will be minimum. It is not fully impaired. Auditory function, it is not fully impaired. Now look at the medial surface of the look here. On the medial surface, this is the medial surface of which side? This is the medial surface of the right cerebral hemisphere. This is the temporal pole here. This is the frontal pole, and this is the occipital pole. On the medial surface, a very important structure you will get here. What is that structure known as?
Corpus callosum, ma'am.
Yes, very good. That is the corpus callosum. Here it is the corpus callosum, and here it is what? The lamina terminalis it is. Just here, what is there? The anterior perforating substance are there. Now, again a very important structure. It is coming here. What is this? What is this?
Fornix.
Very good. This is fornix. Fornix. And just below here there is the thalamus, isn't it? Here it is the thalamus. And this here it is a very important sulcus. Anyone? This is what? First of all, this is what? C-sepid. A C-sepid structure present on the medial surface is what?
Corpus.
Corpus callosum. Very good. This is the corpus callosum. Okay. Just below the corpus callosum, there is the fornix. Just below the fornix, there is the thalamus here. Now we are concerned here with the blood supply of this medial surface. Now tell me, which artery has got the predominance to supply this surface? Anyone?
Anterior.
Yes, very good. In this surface, the medial surface, it is predominantly supplied by the branches, the cortical branches of the anterior cerebral artery. Look here. Here, the anterior cerebral artery, as you see, just to remember, the anterior cerebral artery, where it is going backwards where? Just on the genu. Genu of the corpus callosum bends backwards along this and it is supplied up to the parieto-occipital sulcus here. So, this whole of the surface, this whole of the medial surface including the parietal lobe, the frontal lobe, it is supplied by anterior cerebral artery. Okay? The anterior cerebral artery, what are the cortical branches of the anterior cerebral artery? Very important branches are there, sometimes asked in Viva. What are those branches? The cortical branches of the anterior cerebral artery. First is orbital. Second is frontopolar. Pericallosal and callosomarginal. Now, this orbital branch of the anterior cerebral artery. What do you mean by this orbital? That means this surface, this branch will be present on the inferior surface of the brain, on the orbital plate of the cranial cavity, isn't it? Orbital cavity means there is a orbital plate which is forming the floor of the anterior cranial fossa. So that we will see this branch in the inferior surface. Now frontopolar branches, which was just now we have seen the anterior part on the superolateral this part. This is supplying on the superolateral surface. This is the frontal pole here. So the second branch, it is the frontopolar, which is seen on the superolateral surface, and pericallosal and the callosomarginal, the two branches, depending upon these two branches are given depending upon the sulcus through which the cortical branches run here. Suppose this is the corpus callosum here, it is the corpus callosum, and just above here there is the pericallosal branch of the anterior cerebral artery. Okay? Just parallel to that, it is the callosomarginal. This sulcus, again a parallel sulcus along the callosal sulcus, which is known as the pericallosal sulcus, callosomarginal. So these two branches, the pericallosal and the callosomarginal, this is the pericallosal running above and around the corpus callosum, isn't it? And this is running above the cingulate gyrus. So this is the cingulate gyrus here. Which gyrus it is? Cingulate gyrus. Okay. So in between, just below the cingulate gyrus and above the cingulate gyrus, these two branches run, pericallosal and the callosomarginal. Cingulate gyrus above, that is the callosomarginal. So whole of this medial surface, look here, on medial surface, it is supplied by the cortical branches of the anterior cerebral artery. Okay. Now look here, there is an area here in between the corpus callosum and the fornix below. What is that?
Septum pellucidum.
Very good. This area, it is the septum It is the septum pellucidum. Septum pellucidum, it is a deeper structure on the medial surface, isn't it? So, the cortical branches are not supplying the septum pellucidum. What will supply? The central branches, which are the branches arising from the circle of Willis by the anterior cerebral artery, they will supply here. Okay, so the septum pellucidum as well as the rostrum, blue color. This is the recurved part of the corpus callosum, and this septum pellucidum, it is supplied by the which artery? Again the anterior cerebral artery, but not via the cortical branches, but via the central branches. Is that clear? The central branches of the anterior cerebral artery arising from here, it is supplying the septum pellucidum as well as the genu. What is the genu? Rostrum of the corpus callosum. Okay, by perforating a structure. In the previous class, what we have discussed? Any central branches will pierce the perforating substance, isn't it? So, which perforating substance is nearby to this anteromedial set? That is the anterior perforating substance. Very good. So, anterior perforating substance is present here. By piercing these anterior perforating substances, the central branch supplies the rostrum and the septum pellucidum, which is again the branch of the, there is the arrangement, central arrangement of the circle of Willis of all the three arteries. So, it is one of them. So, this is the thymus. Now, on this surface, we have seen the predominancy by the anterior cerebral artery. And here, suppose here it is the central sulcus, which at the here it is the paracentral lobule. Okay, so paracentral lobule, the central sulcus, it is also seen on the medial aspect of this cerebral hemisphere, and along this, the gyrus, it is known as the paracentral lobule or the paracentral, not the superior and the inferior. It is the paracentral, around the central sulcus, which is seen on the medial surface, that which is supposed to supply the perineal area of the body. Okay, so all these structures are supplied by the anterior cerebral artery. Now there is two sulcus here. What is this? Yes, this is the sulcus in between the occipital lobe and the parietal lobe. So parieto-occipital sulcus here, and from what is this? This is the part of the corpus callosum here. Okay, so this is the posterior. What are the parts? Anyone? Corpus, rostrum, genu, body, and splenium, isn't it? Splenium, it is the posteriorly expanded part. From the posteriorly expanded part, there is a sulcus which runs towards the pole, that is on which is seen clearly on the medial surface, and that sulcus is a very important sulcus for you all, which is asked in the viva. Tell me, what is that? Which sulcus is this? Anyone? Start from C letter. Calcarine sulcus. Calcarine sulcus it is. Calcarine. Okay? Calcarine sulcus, a very important sulcus which lodges the calcarine branches of the posterior cerebral artery, and along this sulcus, around this sulcus, the which the gyri are present, even in the floor of the sulcus itself, the visual area is situated. Okay? Visual area. Area of vision, it is situated in the floor of the sulcus as well as surrounding gyri. That is area number 17. Okay? The area number 17 it is. We will discuss all this Brodmann area in the next class along with the brain. So, right now we just understand this is the calcarine sulcus, this is the parieto-occipital sulcus. So, this part is, which part? The part of the occipital lobe on the medial surface bounded by the parieto-occipital and the calcarine sulcus, it is known as the cuneus. What it is known as? Cuneus. And just here, medial to that, there is a gyrus, which is known as the lingual gyrus. Which is known as the lingual gyrus. Okay? So, and here it is the temporal pole. this is the temporal pole, and temporal pole will be supplied by which artery? Temporal pole on the medial surface, it is supplied by which artery?
Middle sir.
Yes, it is very important. Middle cerebral artery, temporal pole will be supplied by the middle cerebral artery, and the rest here it is by the posterior cerebral artery. Whole of this part it is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery. Here it is the part of the temporal lobe also, which we will see on the inferior surface. So, on this medial surface, depending upon the blood supply, the predominant artery is the anterior cerebral artery, okay, and the rest it is also supplied by the posterior cerebral artery, and the pole here it is supplied by the middle cerebral artery. Here a very important structure that we have to understand, you have to keep in mind, that is the calcarine sulcus. It lodges the calcarine branches of the posterior cerebral artery and supplies the visual area. And what it will lead to if this artery is damaged here? What it will lead to?
Contralateral homonymous hemianopia.
Yes, contralateral homonymous hemianopia. And with the macular sparing, macula में क्यों नहीं होगा? Because it is getting the anastomosing branches also from the middle cerebral artery. That's why macular sparing will be there. Contralateral heteronymous hemianopia will be there. Now come to the inferior surface. Now come to the inferior surface. Look here. On the inferior surface, what are the two components of the inferior surface on which the brain rests? First of all, one thing that you must know, on the inferior surface of the cerebral hemisphere, two components are there. One component is anteriorly, smaller one, and the larger component is posteriorly. Tell me, what is that part?
और बाइक का
Tentorial part, tentorial surface ma'am.
Look here. Look here. This is the inferior surface, inferior view of the cerebral hemisphere. The pointed end it is anterior, this is the anterior end, and this is the posterior end, wider part. This part, it is the tentorial part. This part posterior, and it is the tentorial part. Why it is known as the tentorial part?
Rest on the tentorial cerebellum.
Yes, very good. Because this part of the brain separates from the cerebellum below, isn't it? Cerebellum is posteriorly behind. So, the tentorium cerebelli, which we have discussed in the so it will separate the inferior surface of the brain posteriorly from the cerebellum. So, which rests on the tent of the, so this is known as the tentorial part, and anterior one, it rests on which part? This part, smaller part, it rests on which part? Orbital plate, isn't it? Orbital plate. Look here, this was the anterior crinoid process, isn't it? Here it is the cribriform plate of the ethmoid. This was the anterior crinoid process, and the whole of this, there is the component, it is the orbital plate of the anterior cranial fossa. So, the part of the cerebral hemisphere which rests on this orbital plate will be known as the orbital surface, and the part which rests on the tentorium cerebelli, it is known as the tentorial part. Clear? So, come one by one. What are the parts here? Look. On the orbital part, there is an H-shaped sulcus. H-shaped sulcus. Both the sides. Tell me, what is this H-shaped sulcus?
और बाइक
Orbital sulcus, which is present on the orbital plate, orbital surface of the cerebral hemisphere, and this due to the presence of this H-shaped sulcus on the orbital surface, it is known as the orbital sulcus. So there must be gyra here. So it will divide the whole of the gyrus. Anterior part is there, the anterior orbital gyrus, the posterior orbital gyrus, the medial orbital gyrus, as well as the lateral orbital gyrus, isn't it? Now, just medial to that, there is a olfactory sulcus. The first cranial nerve, mind it. So, this one is the cribriform plate, and there are so many in bundles the cribriform plates through the multiple in numbers. The olfactory nerves comes in the anterior cranial fossa and forms the olfactory bulb and the olfactory tract. And this olfactory tract runs in the sulcus, that is the olfactory sulcus. And medial to that, this is the gyrus rectus. The part of the frontal lobe here, this is the gyrus rectus, just medial to the olfactory sulcus. Now, depending upon the blood supply, anterior, the middle and the posterior cerebral artery here, come first to the orbital plate, orbital surface. Medial half of the orbital surface, isn't it? It is supplied by the which artery?
Anterior surface.
Yes, very good. Anterior cerebral artery. That means the medial half of the orbital surface, it is supplied by the anterior cerebral artery. That is the anterior cerebral artery. Okay, which will include the medial orbital gyrus, isn't it? The medial orbital gyrus, the gyrus rectus, all will be supplied by the which branch? Which branch of is this? Orbital branch. Orbital branch of the anterior cerebral artery. Now clear? This orbital branch, the cortical branch of the anterior cerebral artery, because supplies on the orbital surface of this cerebral hemisphere, it is known as the orbital branch. And what is the area of the orbital surface? So medial half. Then what about the lateral half of the orbital surface, which will include the what? Anterior, posterior and the lateral orbital gyri. Okay? Orbital gyri excluding the medial gyri plus another again, which you have seen on the medial surface. What is this? The prominent part of the temporal lobe, it is anteriorly, that is the temporal pole. This is the temporal pole. It will be supplied by middle cerebral artery. That means lateral half of the orbital surface. Lateral half of the orbital surface as well as the temporal pole. Okay, this part, it is supplied by the middle cerebral artery. That means this part, lateral half of the orbital surface as well as the temporal pole, this will be supplied by the middle cerebral artery. Okay. Now, then on this surface, that is the inferior surface. Now we have understood the predominancy on the superolateral surface was of middle cerebral artery. On the medial surface, it was the anterior cerebral artery, and here the predominancy is by the posterior cerebral artery. So, rest all of the here anterior-posteriorly there is a sulcus on the tentorial surface, which is known as the what? Temporo-occipital sulcus, because it runs in between anteriorly to the temporal lobe and posteriorly to the occipital lobe. Temporo-occipital sulcus. Okay, so medial to this, it is what? The para-hippocampal gyrus. Para-hippocampus gyrus it is. And this is the medial and lateral occipitotemporal gyrus. What is this? The medial portion, medial strip of the gyrus. Okay, it is the parahippocampal gyrus. Parahippocampal gyrus. And lateral to that, it is the medial and the lateral. What is that? Occipitotemporal gyrus. Medial and lateral occipitotemporal gyrus. I mean to say that this surface, it is this area, that means the parahippocampal gyrus, the medial and the lateral occipitotemporal gyrus, that will be supplied by which artery? That is the posterior cerebral artery. The posterior cerebral artery is in the charge of this whole of the tentorial surface like this. Isn't it? Whole of the tentorial surface, it is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery. Clear? That means in this surface there is the predominancy of which artery? The posterior cerebral artery on the inferior surface. Now here in this surface you should understand a very important part here. This is the part where this is the inferior surface, inferior view of the cerebral hemisphere, and this is the part where the circle of Willis is situated. This is area. So here there is the anterior cerebral artery. Suppose here it is the circle situated here. Anteriorly it is the anterior cerebral artery. It is running through the medial sagittal fissure and going where? On the medial surface to supply it. Then the middle cerebral artery. This is the, look here. This is which lobe? This is the frontal lobe. This is the temporal lobe. Okay. So in between these two lobes, this is the frontal and this is the temporal. So in between, when you will separate it, there is a stem. On this stem of the which sulcus, which runs laterally, okay, which runs medial to lateral. That's why it is known as the lateral sulcus, which runs laterally, medial to lateral. And this stem of the lateral sulcus, it is hidden in between the frontal lobe and the temporal lobe. Okay, when you will reflect it, then you will see the middle cerebral artery running horizontally in this sulcus. Okay, and when you will see on the superolateral